So you're in the market to work with a fashion designer, or maybe you want to become one yourself. If you're either of these two people, what are the core skills that you should be looking for so that you can craft beautiful garments that can actually move people? Well, on this episode, I'll give you guys my top skills. It's well known that fashion can always sometimes be art, and just as art has different nuances and has a subjective taste, the same is true in fashion. But there's a collective set of skills that I personally look for in anyone that I'm hiring on my team, and it allows us to create an understanding. The first thing that I always look for and I always recommend in my team is focus. It's important that a fashion designer has immense focus on the task at hand. When you have focus and you know very clearly what your intentions are for a specific design or specific collection, you can look at existing source material, and through that focus, you can make something new of it. So as a designer, you have to have the focus and the necessary foresight to be able to take these ingredients and to make something unique out of them. Regardless of how many times you may have used these ingredients, you should always look for a designer that is extremely well-rounded. Fashion is not just art in and of itself. It's a very practical design making process. When we create clothing, we're creating garments that are going to be used on a day-to-day basis. When you are well-rounded, you have the ability to understand how design should be done in a way to allow it to be aesthetic. You have a psychological understanding of how your customers are going to be using your garments and in what scenarios they're going to be used. Fashion is not just one or two pieces. It's the sum of the entire set of parts, where the sum of the parts is greater than the individual parts. So having the ability to take all of these pieces and join them together and understanding how to maximize the efficiency of each of these different components is the main component of a successful fashion designer's work. I'll give you guys a specific example. Let's just say I'm designing a running short. For a runner, what are they going to need on a day-to-day basis? Well, they're going to need a lot of pockets. So perhaps you should create a rear pocket that you're going to be putting your phone into. This understanding of human psychology and human use case scenarios allows you to craft a phenomenal experience. Most designers just copy paste what they see without understanding the reasons for these designs. If you understand fundamentally, you're able to craft an experience that no one else can. An effective designer must be able to straddle two worlds, and these two worlds are customer demands and customer needs, as well as your or the designer's own voice and identity. At the end of the day, we've explained time and time again that fashion is a very personal endeavor. When you go to designer XYZ, sure, you're going to them because you want a practical product, but at the same time, you appreciate their vision, you appreciate their taste. You're willing to pay a premium because you know that the sensibilities of this designer is something that you resonate with. So as a designer, you must always be able to straddle the line between what the market needs as well as your own unique vision. Never lose your identity. In a market that is extremely saturated and extremely full of copycats, your ability to stand above the rest but still offer something that is practical and in demand is going to be invaluable, and it's going to allow you to charge a premium on your products. You need to always be consistently building your skills. I cannot tell you how many times that I've created a design, or some of my team have created a design, and you always run into problems. Whether it's a problem with the material, whether it's a problem where a specific printing technique doesn't work on a specific fabric that we selected. Building your skills and becoming exposed in the market to different scenarios and knowing what alternatives are, because I've built those skills, I've done the research, I've gone through the trial and error, allows me to solve problems. The better you can get at building your skills, the higher level problems you can solve, the more unique products you can create. If you just rely on what the market has to offer and the problems that have already been solved, you'll never be able to create something unique. So solve problems, even if it seems impossible. It's behind those problems that you can inquire or you can accrue massive potential and a product that no one else has to offer. Look for or become a designer that is always keeping up to date with new technologies. It's in technologies and it's in the change of the market as a whole that you can find new, unique opportunities to create better and more attractive products. For example, if you look at 3D garment printing technology, this is a relatively new and unheard of technology, but in the future, the people that have invested the time will be at the forefront and ready to capitalize on those opportunities. Fashion, like anything, is a business, and in business you must always stay up to date. You must always update your beliefs. You must always be looking for the newest avenues of success and the newest avenues of possibilities. Look at all of the different technologies that you might think are ludicrous at this day and age, and then wait and invest your time where you believe is necessary and watch your investment grow over time. A good and effective designer must always understand the importance of relevancy. Relevancy is the ability to understand the current state of affairs in the world from a socio, political, economic, and cultural context. In order to understand the world as it stands right now, we have to understand history. Fashion is historical. We find a lot of trends are just a repeat of history in one way or another. A good fashion designer must understand the historical implications behind every single trend that they see. By doing this, they can extrapolate forward. If you understand what relevance is, how to get into people's frame of reference at a specific moment, you can create products that are in demand, that speak to the times, that don't feel outdated, and this is the power of relevancy. An effective designer must be willing to exercise their creative muscles. Fashion is creativity. Being able to find unique ways to deliver the same formula time and time again requires an out-of-the-box thinking. Sure, we mentioned the importance of practicality, but willing to think outside of the box and to challenge yourself and to flex your creative muscles time and time again. This is where you find unique opportunities to actually stand above the rest, to speak louder than the market. So be willing to flex your creative muscles, be willing to do the research, be willing to explore unique and different ways, and be willing to tread off of the core and often trodden path. Last but not least, an effective designer must always have a pure vision. You must ensure that your work is consistently non-referential. When someone takes a look at your work, they should see that your work, sure, is cumulative. It's building on what you have seen, the inspirations that you've been put in front of, but it also feels like an authentic representation of what you have to say. Your work is additive. It's not necessarily referential. It's not just using what you have. It's building on top of that. It's saying something new in a world where few people have anything to say at all. What you want is to speak in a way that's authentic and to allow the tribe, the people that you'll resonate with and that will resonate with your vision, to come to you.